Hey, what's going on YouTube? Doing a top 5 builds, or kind of just a builds thing in general. I've been getting a ton of questions on my Twitch, twitch.tv/Venenu_. Stream over there at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. So if you want to go show that with some love, please do. But people have been asking me a bunch about the builds. I'm not 100% sure about the correct build, but I know what people are doing. I know what different people are doing. I know different versions of builds that you can do, so you can kind of get a general idea of it. But yeah, we're gonna go from here and right into the game. I'm just gonna show you guys the different builds that people are doing and what I've been personally preferring. It's early on, so it's hard to tell. It's 2 days into the patch. Who knows what's the best thing? But we're gonna dive right into it. So I'm gonna show you guys kind of the damage difference across the board and everything like that. So a big different start that people are doing. I've been doing this since day one. I thought the start was going to be actually insane. I'm just going to show you guys the differences of the damage types. So you got Enchanted Spear. This recently got buffed. It got 5 flat pin on it, which is an insane statted item, okay? So the start of the game, what I've been doing every single game that I'm a mage so far, it doesn't matter what mage I am, I'm going Enchanted Spear with Healing Potion, and I can go multi-potion if I'm a character that does not burn mana, or I'm just going a mana potion, okay? And with the normal, obviously, beads and horn shard if you're a mage type of dealio, okay? So for the wave, I think this is updated for Conquest. I could be wrong, but I'm not too sure. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like, level 1. So 124, that's what that is, okay? So let that die. So that's a 124. We're just gonna write that down so we remember. Okay, 124. And I should have probably done this when I'm level 2, actually. Let's just run back here. Oh, actually, the mage passive is gone. That's on me. That's on me. Hold on. Sorry about that. Mage passive is gone, so the level does not matter. Okay, so 124. And if we do this, we're going to do this now. Let's say your start is tier 1 flat pen. We're gonna do this version of the start, right? The normal, okay. The normal version of the build with health multis. You guys know the gist of that, right? So if I go over here, let's see how hard I hit. So 124, that's what we're starting at, okay? So 124 versus 113 plus 13, so 126. Mind you, this is versus creeps that have a pretty high base thing. I don't know what creeps these are, if they're joust creeps or they're conquest creeps. I'm not too sure. And then this is the other start, the conduit proc start, which will have the highest base damage just because it's conduit. Wait for the conduit proc to proc up. Mind you also that if you do fight early, having the 5 flat pen is the most damage you're gonna have. So 113 plus 36, high number or whatever. Obviously it's conduit. But basically the point of going tier 2 flat pen, which I've been doing, is just you have the 5 flat pen early, you have the 60 magical power, and you hit really hard on certain creeps and characters and stuff like that once you start kind of leveling up. And then once you have 700 gold basically on the back, you basically just go back for sands. So this kind of curve you into the sands with the alternate timeline. That's kind of what I've been doing personally. So your full build, your build kind of looks like this. On your first back, you'll have sands just back when you have 700 gold, and you get this instantly once you're done. And then here, actually what I can show you guys is the damage difference between these gods here. Let's just say I'm facing Ra. Ra hasn't been changed recently. So damage on Ra, 103. 103. I should just lower my cooldowns. Okay, 103. 92. And then conduit's its own thing. If you have procs, you're gonna probably do more damn. That's just kind of how it's gonna be. So your highest chance of fighting gods is going to be the Enchanted Spear route. So it gives you a lot more earlier pressure versus gods. Pretty good into the hunters. Hunters are still very oppressive. That's a good way to do it. Next on the list, so what your build ends up looking like at the early game is you're going to go that into sands. Then once you have enough gold, you're just going to go buy Deso because Deso recently got buffed. There's different routes you can go from here. Personally, I have not been enjoying the book build at all, so I've been going to Divine Rune, which also got buffed. So now you have 30 flat pen here. Then right into Coin, which Coin also got 10 more power increase. Then you're going to go into Reaver, which helps you kill tanks. The Reaver being the percent health. You still need Reaver in every single build. Don't even question it. So last item is a very optional build. If you're a Mirrodin character, you can go Mirrodin. If you're not a Mirrodin character, you can go Soul Gem. Soul Gem also receiving, I believe, a 10 power buff. So Soul Gem, very stat efficient now. Very, very good item in general. And then your option is always going to be Timeline. Timeline's insane. I can show you guys the level 20 stuff. If you guys want to see what your damage looks like with this build. Get Timeline here. I'll just show you guys damage on Ra here. So 508, 508 slash 515. And I'll show you guys what it looks like on tanks. 501, 518 plus 74. Actually, 218, he has no prots, so just keep that in mind. So that's what that looks like. That's what this build looks like. So 508, 515. Okay, so that's your base power damage. So now there is the other build option, which some people are going, which is the do more option, because that also recently just got changed. Personally, I would not go conduit with that build, though I don't think it's that bad. I'd go sands with it, with do more. And then your build, I believe, looks like Divine Ruin here. You can go Deso if you want. If there's no healers, you go Deso. If there's healers, you go Divine. You do need a Divine, I believe, like 90% of the time, but Deso feels a lot better. So it could be a meta where Deso is just overbearing or a prominent item, and you just go the anti-heal option because Deso just feels so much better. Personally, I'm just gonna go Deso every game. I don't really care. If you're a Mirrodin god, you'd go Mirrodin here. If you're not a Mirrodin god, you just go Coin. Just is a way better statted than what's it called now. So that, and then you go into Reaver here, finish your starter, you go into Timeline, and then you're going to go into either Mirrodin if you're Mirrodin god, Soul Gem if you're Soul Gem god. Kind of up to you. Then this is what your build looks like, okay? So this is your damage on the Ra. So 419, 507. 419, 507. Oh, that's not 491, sorry. Just make sure. 491, I believe. 491, yeah. 491, 507. So that's what that build looks like. And now we're going to go the other build. So this build, in my opinion, is way, way, way better. So we're going to go into Divine. Okay. Actually, cancel that. I'm going to explain this build. So this build is the build if you're not... A lot of people are going, you know, hybrid item, solo laners where they're a lot squishier, depending on the characters that you're facing. So you can actually get away. You could do this build, the do more build, but you can go if they are not tanky. They have one tank frontline, or that person is going to go hybrid. There's been a lot of Guardians that are being played that are going conduit, which reduces a lot of their tankiness. There's a lot of stuff that's reducing the presence of the tanky characters from the solo lane. That's the person you have to be careful of. Your build can literally look like Doomorb. This is one tank. Keep that in mind. One tank. You go Doomorb, you go Deso, you go Divine Ruin, you go Reaver, and you go Mirrodin for your last item, or you go Soul Gem. 90% of the characters that are meta right now use Mirrodin. I'd go Mirrodin. Just so you can get that percent pen that you're missing. And then you don't need Timeline here. If you're going to go this build, you can go any of the items that you want to. But yeah, I'll show you what the damage looks like on a squishy. Let me just reset the bot. So this is 547, which is the hardest hitting. Mirrodin proc 510. You want to see what a Mirrodin looks like? 613. So that's why Mirrodin's a really, really good item on Agni, for example. So that's your damage on this. That's your highest damage that you're going to have on squishies. You're going to blow up squishies like it's nothing, right? So that's your build. You're going to go triple flat pen here into Reaver so you can deal damage to tanks. I can show you the damage on Reaver on the tank here. 220, 257 or whatever it was. So this also, you can, instead of going on this build, you're already on the greedy path. So you can actually just go, Pendulum here. So that's your dam on squishies. Very, very, very high damage on squishies, especially if you have do more proc up, your damage will be increased. So personally, the overall build that I've been going is the double flat pen. Oh, dude. I hate this item shop. It's so badly done. This build is what the build I've been preferring. The tier 2 flat pen start back for Sands of Time. Because it covers your early game lackluster pressure that you get with Sands. And then you go into Deso here. Then you go into Divine. And then you go into Coin. And then you go into Reaver. And then you go into Soul Gem or Mirrodin, depending on what you're going. Personally, I've been going both. It doesn't really matter. It just kind of depends. And then I go Pendulum. So I'm really annoying and really frustrating to deal with. And then this is kind of what my dam looks like. That's what my dam looks like on a squishy. This is what my dam looks like on a tank. Not tank because he doesn't have any procs, but you get the gist of it, right? So that's what that is. No one's really been doing the book build. I don't think the book build is necessarily dead. I just think it's a lot slower now. You get a little bit more punished in the early game for going book. I don't think you really have to. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do in that sense. You still need Reaver in every build. There's no discussion about it. You need Reaver in every single build that you do. Okay? But those 3 builds or 4 builds that I kind of told you about, those are kind of the general gist of them. You no longer can combo, unfortunately you can't combo Book of Thoth and Doom Orb anymore because Doom Orb used to have mana. It no longer has mana, it has MP5, or it only has the MP5 stat. If you could go Book and Doom Orb, you'd probably go those 2 right now because they're super high power items. Personally, I'm not going Doom Orb first myself because I think that is a very expensive item, 2850 gold. And these 2 items are just way cheaper, and you get a spike faster, and they also have 10 more flat pen than just the Doom Orb single build, right? So something to keep in mind on that aspect as well. Or it has 5 more flat pen, and then if you pick up Yellow Totem, you get another 5 more flat pen than you would, and you have 10 more flat pen total. So those are the different style of builds that you can go. There's not really a point of going any other item. Mage is still really bad, in my opinion. And that's kind of it. You can go the Chronos Pendant build if you guys want to try the proc build. I personally haven't messed around with this. I can see you going it. There's options for it for sure. You go Conduit, you start tier 1 Lost Artifact, and then you go right into Chronos Pendant here. You can go right into Deso or Divine. Then you go into Coin, Soul Gem, Reaver, then Soul Gem, and then this is your proc build with Gem of Focus. And I'll show you the dam on the tanks. So 473, 495, and he's stealing it. Oh, of course he's sitting his raw heal. 518. So once it's full stacked up, that's your highest damage out of all the builds, I believe, unless the one that had Mirrodin. 536. Or, dude, I hate raw heal. I'm showing you, damn. 518, that's what you're hitting for, okay? Your Soul Gem hits really hard. It's a good overall proc build. Reaver's increase, 222. Not too bad. So those are your kind of different builds. Those are the different builds that you can kind of mess with. There's an option for going coin first. Personally, I haven't found the correct build for going coin first. I've seen some people mess around with a coin first in this build with Conduit, and you go into Chronos Pendant, then you go into just so if you ever get an early kill, you're stacking up the Charon's coin faster. You're also kind of more of a quote-unquote threat to frontline, even though I don't really think so, because 20% CDR, you know, there's arguments between different people and who you ask and whatever. Then you can go into a Deso here, and then a Reaver, and then a Soul Gem. It ends up being the same exact build. It's just kind of built differently, and your curve is a little bit different. If you're facing more tankier junglers and supports are kind of posturing your lane, I'd go towards Charon's coin first, so you can at least be a threat to them. Chronos Pendant is more of a farming item. You don't really want to box with that item, so you want to kind of run around the map and kind of farm really, really fast. That's kind of what this item enables you to do. It's not the most fighter option, unless you're just playing constant poke and just poking and poking and poking and poking. But yeah. So, I mean, hopefully overall, this kind of guide kind of generally helps you. It's an early thoughts, early feels for the different options of the builds and everything like that. Hopefully this ends up helping. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a general gist of the different builds that are going on. I know the builds changed quite a bit. You still, if you're a big fan of book and you run into mana problems, you can still go the book build. It's just going to be slower. And if you're facing pressure, you're going to get jammed. So just kind of be aware of that. But yeah, overall, I think that's kind of the general gist of it. Personally, I'm not going to be a book fan. The most fan I'm going to be of is the double flat pen build for me. Just kind of more threatening to the jungler, more threatening to the squishy characters, and kind of scales better and it's cheaper. So that's kind of why I favor that. Hopefully this guy helped you guys though. I'll probably have a video later on of like what the best build ends up being, or I'll do a top 3 gods or top 5 mid gods of like, and then the builds that they're doing. I don't have a general gist. It's very early thoughts, but just kind of wanted to let you guys know, kind of wanted to see how you guys feel about the builds. If you guys got any different builds that you're doing, please feel free to leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on twitch.tv/Venenu_ I stream every single day over there at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Adios. Have a good one.